the 9th day of May 2020, and I have spent the better part of 2 days trying to level the trusses, actually the soffit side of the trusses, and we can see a few string lines. There's actually one missing. It's actually hanging down up here, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, if we actually look closely up in the soffit area, we can see some of the dimensions that I have. The final result is in red, 0 meaning that it is dead on. And effectively, in order for me to put siding on, I've got to put this corner on right here. The same is true for in the back. And I can't put this corner piece on until I get the first piece of soffit in, just like I have here. So anyway, in order to do that, I have to make sure that everything is nice and level, because this is a very large surface with a lot of shiny reflective surfaces. And if this is not straight, it will be very easy to see. So this has turned into a very long project, but since we have a number of gables coming off of this truss, there were 10 different designs. Each piece has a little different shape. And if we notice straight up here, the bottom chords are 2x8s here, and we're on 16-inch centers. And then as we move over, you can see we move to 24-inch centers. So, and those are only 2x6. Actually, these are 2x4 bottom chords, and we go to 2x8 chords. Anyway, because of all the geometry issues, they've had 10 different sizes from E1 to E10. And what that means is that they have to change the jig a number of times. And each time they have to change them, there's a little bit of error introduced. So this part right here just happened to be the furthest off. And if you look, this part here says 9 5/8 right in the front. Then I made some adjustments, got to 5/8, and then if you look, I have shimmed each one of these pieces to the bottom. There's little pieces of wood that are nailed on the bottom of each of these trusses, gets us to where we need to be. And if you look on one side of this, to the right side of the line, it says this side was 3/8 and this side was 5/8 plus. So that means I need to create a wedge. And I think we can see there are a bunch of pieces piled up here. And by the time I get to this side, it's just one piece of 3/8. So it's taken me a considerable, almost 2 days to get the top almost completely level and the left-hand side almost completely level. Now, what's made it a little more challenging is the piece at the end, not actually the fascia, but this piece right here that looks nice and shiny. I actually had to cut. This had the same issues, except they were negative, meaning I had to take off some wood. And since they're 2x6 and this is a 2x6 bottom chord, I have plenty of room to take material off. It's just getting up, 9+ feet tall, and cutting sideways with a skill saw on top of a ladder can be challenging. So this side I did at lunchtime today, and I have been in the prep for doing this side. Now I stopped, it's 4:45 in the evening, and I thought, why don't I at least document how much I'm taking off? So the way I figured this out is I cut little notches approximately where I need to cut. I cut a notch out, I try hanging the line, see if that's where it needs to be. And so that's about 3/4 of an inch, by the way, because those are 2x6s. So I'll give you an idea as far as size. The same here, and right here about 1/2 inch. So once I cut the bottoms, by the way, this side actually doesn't require any cutting at all. So it just so happens that these two pieces are hanging low. After these two are cut on the top, at least I've got the middle, and the right-hand side will be completely level the way they need to be. I'll still have to address this at some other time, but right now my goal is to get more siding in. So I could actually stop right here, but I think it'll be a lot easier with the saw once I get in right now and at least cut this piece. Well, then that one doesn't need to be cut. So if I cut these two pieces of wood, then I can go back to, hopefully, then tomorrow morning I can actually get my corners in place. And then I've got a little other prep work to do. I've got a little bottom border that has to get put in and caulked in so that the first piece of siding has a little bit of a kick in it, just like the rest of the pieces of siding. And then I can actually get started. So sorry for the long video, just thought I should know what I did the next time I do this, which will be in 2 more years.